Alright, so somebody asked me to do a chain sharpening video. I just wanted to show you, I got my MS661 here. I was cutting up some firewood and I ended up hitting a stone pretty bad. And I'll show you right now how it's barely cutting, and then I'll sharpen it up and we'll do a before and after. So as you can see, it's hit so rough that it's not even gonna cut through this seasoned white oak. But now I'll take you into the process of how I'm gonna sharpen. So as you can see, the chain is pretty well down there, close to the file line there, and my teeth are rounded over, and that's why it's not cutting. Some of you are gonna laugh because I am a seasoned vet. I'm not that old, but been in the woods for over 10 years now, and I've up until this week filed my chain by hand. But now I got this nice Grandberg file jig. I'm using a 7/32 file, and basically all I'm doing is I'm setting my angles to where I like them, which on this particular cut, because my chain's so whooped and because I'm using a 7/32 file, I'm gonna go with a 25-degree angle, 0-degree slope. So I'm gonna be going straight across the top of the file, or the tooth, sorry, and at a 25-degree angle. Now what this allows me to do is I can set my angles, as you can see there, 0, 25. I can set my angles and it's going to be perfect every single time. There's not going to be any room for error. What you do is you're going to get your file or your chain set up so that it's backed right up in there. See how it's backed right up in there? The tooth's backed up to the jig. And I'm going to stick my file down in here, and with one finger I'm just going to go light swipes across like this. And it's going to be really hard to do with the phone, so bear with me. But this is all I do. Now I'm going to do that a couple of times until I can see it curl over and straighten out on the cutting edge. And we'll see how that looks. This is what it's going to look like after I clean out the gullet and put another edge back on it. And all that was probably 10 or 12 really light swipes. I don't put much pressure on it. I get it so that I can see that starting to curl over. Now, you can see that it didn't really clean it out all that much. There's still kind of a lip on it. So I'll probably go back and clean that out one more time. But just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna do the chain up just like this, and we'll make an after cut and see how it looks. So this is what it looks like before I file it. If I can get it to focus. You can see that it's messed up, and then afterwards you'll have a nice shiny edge like that, and it'll be nice and cleaned out. Let's see how she performs. Okay, now I just took that file guide off, and this is the first time I've really used it after hitting a rock. A lot of guys tell me that you should just chuck a chain after you hit a rock real hard. This one was real bad, so I'm gonna take actually 2 swipes off of my rakers with a flat file now. I found a weak link in this chain. Looks like one of the rakers broke off and half the link around the rivet broke. So I don't see this chain lasting too long. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to continue filing it just like I normally would. And hopefully I could get a couple cuts out of this to show you just how sharp I got it compared to what it was. And then I'm going to chuck the chain because I can't risk running that all day long and having it come off and hurt somebody or hurt myself. So I don't suggest ever running a chain like this that has a broken tooth, because it can be dangerous. But like I said, for the purpose of the video, we're gonna continue. So we took a little bit off the top of the raker, and I did a few swipes with the file guide, and you can see my corners are still a little bit tweaked. Like, this is a throwaway chain. I'm just cutting some firewood for the central boiler. So it's nothing spectacular. It's not something that I would run in the woods every day. Although I was cutting with it earlier today before I screwed it up. But that's what this purpose of this video is all about, to show that with the right tools, you can get anything to cut again, even if it is messed up. So here we go. Let's try it. Here we are again. It's the same piece of oak, same saw. And same chain. It'll look really silly if it doesn't cut. Well, Well, clearly it cuts because it pulled right through that piece, and it actually almost rolled over on me because I didn't have my foot set on it right. But as you can see, I mean, it cuts great now compared to what it was, which it didn't cut anything. Because here I am over here cutting with these little stones everywhere, and it wasn't too smart, but I ended up hitting one before we sharpened. So hopefully that'll help you guys out, especially you guys who haven't ever hand filed before, so you're not necessarily down with the techniques of hand filing. I got my little pit bull here. She's trying to say hi. Lexi, say hi. Yeah. And yeah, so that's basically what I do. Now, like I just started that this week, and it seems to be working out for me. It's the third time I've used this jig. So far, I like it. I mean, it throws some good chips, and I can't wait to try it on a new chain. For those of you who are interested in knowing what kind of chain I'm running an MS661 steel chainsaw with an 8-tooth sprocket, 20-inch bar, 72 LG, I believe. So it's a full comp, full chisel chain, 30 seconds, total premium file, and a Granberg file jig. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any other suggestions, or you'd like to see it from a different angle, or you'd like to see how I hand file without the guide, I'd be more than glad to try and make a video. Have a great day. As I got to thinking about it, you know, it was a small piece of white oak, so what I'm going to do here is, I got a nice piece of red oak over here. Hopefully you can see it. Anyway, I got a nice little piece of red oak over here. I'm gonna make another cut, and maybe you'll see the chips flying. That's probably only like an 8-inch piece. As you can see, it made a nice straight cut. It's not wavy at all, and that chain was pretty messed up, so I'm impressed. So for those of you guys who are against file jigs, unless you've tried one and you didn't like how it performed, I suggest you give it a try, especially the ones that have the patience to do it. The main thing is a lot of the guys say that it takes too long. Granted, I'll admit it probably took me about an extra 8 or 10 minutes to file the chain, especially since I hit a rock with it. But so far so good. I'll keep everybody posted. I'm back here at the home office about to edit and post the video. I just want to let everybody know that if you're interested in any of the products that I run, or that I demo, or whatever that I'm demonstrating in my videos, you can contact me. Feel free. I would be more than glad to set you up with a dealer to get that stuff at a real reasonable price. I have a lot of great people in my forestry network that I deal with that are excellent salesmen, and I can help you out with that. I don't do it for profit. I'm not sponsored by anybody. This video is strictly for the purpose of my viewers who asked me if I could do a filing video and tell them how I file my saw. But keep in mind, this is the first actual a whole day that I've used nothing but a file jig. I've never done that before. I used to always hand file my saws, and I always use this 13/64 chain file on my chain. And I had a lot of problems with the Oregon chain, and I'm pretty sure that we've got it figured out. But for the sake of Oregon and for the sake of everybody else who's probably going to say that it's my fault, I'm going to make a different video for that. But anyway, we've had problems with this Oregon chain. Either our file technique, the bar, the chain, whatever the case may be, it was cutting crooked after a few sharpens. And the guy that works with me, he's 49 years old. He's been in the woods a real long time. And I saw him using a file jig, and I thought it was the craziest thing in the world because, you know, I grew up in a real roughneck type of family, and everybody was always like, oh, that thing takes too long. It's a waste of time. Anybody can hand file way better than that'll ever do it. I put all my ignorance aside, and I decided to try it, especially after seeing how he cuts. The man can cut some serious wood. And I was impressed. Today was the first time I tried it. I took a chain that I had previously filed with a 13/64 file, and I think I hit some dirt with it or something, so I was kind of getting frustrated with it. I was about to throw it out, but I still had a lot of life left to the chain. So I gave this a shot, and I filed it out one time, and I was cutting some nice, 22, 24-inch hard maple, and anybody that knows hard maple or sugar maple knows that it's extremely hard, regardless of how good your chain's cutting. Some guys will tell you that, skip tooth works better than a full comp. Regardless, I was using a full comp chain, and touched it up once with this jig. I took quite a bit off because, you know, I had to get that gullet out nice. I had to get my angles right. But long story short, I started cutting into that hard maple and it was like butter. It just pulled right through, and I was really amazed by it. And after I did it the second time, I noticed that my rakers were still a little high, so my tooth wasn't grabbing as much as I wanted it to, but it was still cutting smooth and straight. And that was the main thing, is that we couldn't get it to cut straight, hand filing it, for whatever reason. Now, there's speculation between a couple of us that one tooth on the Oregon chain on one side is actually like 1/100 of an inch taller than the other one, right from the factory or the box. And we're miking them out, and we're testing that subject. We're making sure that, you know, before I go and point fingers, that that's actually what's going on. But this seems to be working, so I'm going to stick with it for a little while. If any of you guys would like to see a hand file video without the jig, I can try that for you. It probably won't be able to come for about another week, though, because I want to stick with this for a little while. I'm going to throw a new chain on, I'm going to use the jig, and I want to see if I can perfect my angles and get it to cut the way I want it to. But I appreciate all your support. This week's been real tough for me. We lost my grandmother last night, so I'm kind of doing this to keep my mind off of things. And I know a lot of you guys that are going to watch this video are from my logging page, and a lot of you guys really support me. I appreciate everything. Life can be tough at times, as I'm sure you all know, and it's the little things like this that mean a lot to me. So that being said, everybody, thanks for watching, and keep in touch. Contact me on YouTube in the comments section, or contact me on Facebook. And those of you who know me on Facebook, you know how to contact me there. And we can go from there. So everybody have a great day, and enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Most of all, stay productive.